आदाब और आगाही के साथ बिला तमहीद आपका आज का मेज़बान राजा फारिस पेश खिदमत है. Today we bring to you the very first episode of Art in Translation, whereby we're translating the life of an artist whose voice bridges literal barriers in our Pakistani society. From the raw grief of her solo performances to her lighting up billboards in Times Square, New York, as a Spotify Global Equal Ambassador, please welcome the powerhouse of Pakistani indie music, Maria Unera.
Hello.
How are you doing, Maria?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me.
How's the day been like?
Yeah, pretty good actually. Not too bad. It's a sunny day and
I mean, sunny in a sense, the smog has been so bad.
True, but you know, from what I hear, according to the locals, aka my husband, he says that it's actually not that bad this year.
This year I agree, because last year it was like the AQI was going over 1,000.
Yes, and that was definitely because I was visiting last year as well, and I kind of was almost regretting the fact that he's from Lahore because I had to move here.
Understandable.
But otherwise, like, yeah, it is really nice to actually see the sun bright out in Lahore.
I agree.
It's not as gloomy as one would imagine.
True. Before we move on, like this question has been inching for me past 2 days.
Okay.
And I've been asking this to everyone that I meet.
I'm sure.
How has your Spotify Wrapped look like?
Oh, well, as a listener or as an artist?
As a listener and then as an artist.
So as a listener, yeah, pretty much as how I expected it to be. My listening age is 20. Which,
mine is 21.
Yeah, they brought me like 11 years down, 9 years down. So that was nice. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Ray and a lot of... gosh, the only thing that's coming to my mind right now is Ray. But a lot of Doechii.
Oh, that's very nice.
I got really obsessed with Doechii. She reminds me of like a female version of Eminem. Just because her lyrics are just so ruthless. But as an artist, surprisingly for somebody who has not released music in a year and a half-ish, my Spotify artist rap was pretty decent
really
for
cool.
somebody who's just released one song, because you know life happened, and I'm sure we'll get into that. But yeah, I mean it was pretty nice. It was nice to see that there are still people listening
and following
to me,
your music,
and I feel important.
Oh, that's really nice. That's very nice. For me, it was a very white girl, whitewashed Taylor Swift and Beyonce and Billie Eilish.
Oh my gosh, yes, Billie Eilish, of course. She was also in my rap.
That's very nice.
Of course.
Yeah, that's very nice. So we, as in like Art in Translation, their whole series is going to be focused on how, you know, art is translated through different mediums to different people and through different artists as well. Yeah. So for you, I'm pretty sure you've been asked this question a gazillion times, but I was listening to one of your podcasts and you mentioned how your very earliest teachers was your mother herself. Yeah. So in that sense, because of her descent as a person from a Filipino person, so in that sense, there must have been like a clash in terms of culture from where she was and from where you were, where you were born and raised as well. So in that sense, how was that like cultural amalgamation of music when it came to the dual ethnicity?
You know, I've been really blessed in my life. I thank Allah every single day for this factor, because my mother was somebody who truly believed in expression.
Right.
And it could have been in any form. For her, it was martial arts and cooking.
Oh, cool.
And so she really tried, my brother and I, to get into martial arts, a different form of arts. But when she realized that, my kids are more artistic than she had realized then, she introduced us to the most beautiful thing, which is called the karaoke microphone. Yeah. And in the Philippines, we have a very strong culture belief of music. Yeah. So everything around any bond revolves around music. So I was really blessed that my mom took that stand. Yes, it was tough because my dad is a Punjabi man.
Yeah.
And he's a really wonderful human being because despite him being a Punjabi man, and I don't mean that Punjabi people are really strict, but of course it is the Pakistani culture.
That's true.
And for a little girl who's 15 and she wants to sing, it was a bit strange for him at the time. But of course, my mom was my number one supporter. So she would actually bicker with my dad and be like, you don't know what you're talking about. She's going to be a star. And honestly, she really just pushed me to do it. So I guess I have her to thank for a lot in my career and in my life. She made it easy. She didn't make us feel, my brother and I, she didn't make us feel like we were singled out, especially when we were at home. So a lot of the things that we grew up listening to were very Filipino culture centric, which maybe now as an adult, now that I'm married to a man who's from Punjab also, every day I'm learning new things about the
Makes
Pakistani
sense.
culture. So it's interesting. I've never really faced us tarha ke issues,
Ji.
ghar pe at least, because we were pretty much a Filipino household. My dad really tried to turn things around, but my mom was sort of the head of the house at the
Right.
time, and she really took charge when it came to extracurricular
That's very
stuff.
nice.
So apart from music, there was sports also, and there was a lot of like endurance training and things that normal kids probably wouldn't be learning at the time. But my mom, she was a superwoman, she used to teach us all these things, and that's why I feel like I've never really faced it at home. However, when I started venturing out to the world, which was basically Islamabad, I grew up in Islamabad, that was when I really started to feel the clash.
Right.
Just because obviously when you're a teenager, you go through your own things. You want to be independent. You want to go out on your own. You want to have your own life that's not entirely led by your family or controlled by your parents. So when I was a teenager, I used to enjoy going to different parks and play the 4 guitar chords that my mom taught me. And that was really when I faced, I guess you could say, racism, because it was really tough as a young singer at the time. I didn't know what I was doing.
Makes sense.
So wo ek tha, but again, I have my mom to thank because she really did guide us the right way to dodge. So I never let it affect me. Maybe
Right.
now as an adult, I think about it more frequently. But as a kid, I was just completely focused on, I need to learn this specific song,
Makes sense.
you know.
When it comes to music, right? So it's not like one thing in its entirety. So it's like amalgamation of a lot of different things. It's embracing a lot of different things
Yeah.
as well. So in that terms, people, especially from Pakistan, where it's like such a multi-ethnic country,
Yeah.
so many identities, so on and so forth. So did that identity that your mom built for you, like creep into the Pakistani society that you were faced and challenged with? So how was what was the influence that had living in Pakistan but having such a diverse ethnic identity, and how has that like translated into your music itself as well?
I feel like it helped.
Right.
In any way possible. It helped. The factor of being a Filipino-Pakistani singer from Islamabad, it really shaped my identity. And yes, in the beginning it was a bit like, ye kya hai? But I used it to my advantage. That, there were often times where obviously growing up in the Filipino household, my mom primarily taught us music in English. And so we used to listen to a lot of Western stuff, a lot of classical Western stuff, be it from any genre. And that really, like, kind of planted that confidence that, okay, this is a representation that I can build on and, portray out there. But I think when I was a kid, I was a bit, I guess you could say, hesitant to participate in Urdu
Yeah.
stuff. I think I just wasn't confident
Makes
enough.
sense.
I think now, I think now in life where I'm like, okay, yeah, I could cover or write or, At the time I was just not confident. And at the time I just really wanted to emphasize on promoting English music because, मैं अक्सर देखती रहती हूँ कि आजकल के जो God, I can't believe I'm saying आजकल के बच्चे, but आजकल की जो youth है,
जी.
they're very vocally expressive.
They are.
They're very expressive with what is wrong and what is right and what should be taken stands for and what is like मतलब गलत है तो फिर इसको cancel करो. That culture, this new developed culture, I guess you could say, back in my day, it wasn't as accepted.
Yeah.
So if I was advocating for English music to be, like मेरा हमेशा argument ये होता था कि हम सब Backstreet Boys को सुनते हैं.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
हम Linkin Park को सुनते हैं. हम सारे अंग्रेजी गाने सुनते हैं, लेकिन हम अपने, when we see one of our own doing it, why is it looked down upon?
That's true.
What's so bad about it? You can represent your culture in many, many languages. And I also truly believe music is universal. There should be no borders. There should be no restrictions. Music is, for me at least, I mean, and I'm sure there are a bunch of other musicians out there in our industry who could also vouch for this. It is a very beautiful way of expressing your emotions, and you can literally translate anything that you are feeling into music, and there is nothing more beautiful than the power of that. And that is something I still stand by today. I mean, yes, language was a barrier, but language shouldn't be a barrier.
That's true.
True.
So you started performing at like a very young age.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that, at a very young age, it was mostly, a hobby.
Yeah.
A time pass in a sense. It was a passion.
Yeah.
But when you transitioned into like a professional singer, how was that transition looking like for you? And what was that like moment, I want to do this for the rest of my life, for example, and when the numbers, started to become plausibly impactful, how was that transition and change for you?
So back in my day, we didn't have numbers. We didn't have following. We didn't even have YouTube, actually. YouTube was banned. Instagram was just popping out. I don't know if you guys remember the first Instagram logo and the whole layout. It was ugly back in the day, not gonna lie. Like, it was not at all aesthetic, but it was the new thing. We had SoundCloud, and SoundCloud was mostly a hit or miss at the time. You could either get a lot of plays or get literally zero. So when I was starting out, obviously it was very, very nonchalant and very playful. I used to go to the park that was behind my school. One thing I do miss about Islamabad were parks everywhere, every meter. So I used to go to the park and I used to play. And vahi matlab thoda sa jis tarah hum bahar busking kehte hain. I didn't realize I was busking until somebody told me, hey, did you hear about this little girl who, is playing at the park? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. So us tarah shuru hua tha. And then eventually, I guess I was in my senior year of high school. And I hated school. I was not at all an academic person, just because I was like, maine music karna hai.
Right.
ठीक है, मैं नहीं करना ये,
पढ़ाई में कुछ नहीं लिखा.
मैं नहीं करना ये, ठीक है, मैं सीख लूंगी जो मैंने सीखना है. It's okay, it's fine. I know what I want to do. And my argument at the time as a little 16, 17-year-old used to be, Mama, don't people go to school to figure out what they want to do in life? I know what I want to do in life. And she used to give me my fair share of scoldings. She used to be like, what the heck is wrong with you? So डांटती रहती थी, कहती रहती थी कि यार जो भी तुम कर रही हो ये बिल्कुल तुम्हें नहीं पता तुम क्या कर रही हो. And rightly so. She was a woman who had worked in multiple fields. So she did work in the media industry. So she knew how ugly it could get or how difficult it could get, especially for somebody who's just starting out from zero. So, I think the experiences that I had of performing at little Filipino events that used to happen in Islamabad gave me the confidence to be like, nahi, maine ye karna hai. So when I decided and I kept my foot down, I was like, no, I'm going to do this. She basically kind of cracked a deal with me, and I always tell this story on all of my interviews. She straight up cracked a deal. She's like, all right, I'll give you 3 years. You got 3 years to prove yourself. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know how. But you just got to do it.
Right.
And we literally shook on it. And I think about maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, Noori came to my school looking for me because they saw a video of me singing Skinny Love on Facebook.
Right.
Believe it or not, Facebook was the thing back then. It was our TikTok and Instagram,
It was.
And and next thing you know it, I'm doing a music video with them. And I'm in Karachi shooting a video with them, which was 20 hours long. And that kind of just became a rippled effect. It just became something that, एक होता है ना कि बस हो रहा है और आपको realize नहीं हो रहा है कि actually क्या हो रहा है. It was a bit like that. And my mom was she used to work full-time, so she was obviously with me as much as she possibly could. But there were a lot of times where I was on my own and I was like, okay, I asked for this.
Yeah.
And this is what it is. And now I got to build on it. And that's pretty much how that transition happened. Yeah. And
That's really cool.
And then Nescafe and and a lot of other.
Right. So when you are on stage, right, and with that, because you're a songwriter yourself as well, so when you're writing songs about your own life, which are things that are very personal to you, and I think you've talked about Strong as a song in this connotation. So when you're singing that live in a performance, because it's so personal and so emotional for you, how does that affect you on stage? Because I've wanted to ask that to so many artists कि आपने अपने बारे में इतनी बहुत sensitive, intimate चीज लिखी है about your parents, for example, someone you love, so on and so forth. But when it becomes so repetitive, is that a variable that kind of affects how you see your own music itself?
So with Strong in specific, I try not to sing it as much or as frequent. Not because, of course, it is a very, very emotional song. And honestly, it breaks me down. It breaks me down every single time I perform it. Be it as few as maybe 4 times every couple performances, I try not to sing it because it is a very heavy song. It's a very sensitive, very heavy. It's been 10 years since that song's been out, and my mom and I wrote it together. Actually, it was a very sweet moment. She wrote the second verse, which was probably one of the most amazing experiences I would have been blessed with at the time. It was incredible. So I try not to perform it too much because I know it holds a lot of emotion and not everybody can handle it. And also kind of depends on the scene.
It does, yeah.
So if I'm doing an intimate gig where it's just me and my guitar, or me and my friend who's playing a guitar for me, फिर मैं मुझे लगता है कि okay, appropriate है. And when I do sing it, it obviously brings a lot of flashbacks. And honestly, every time I perform a song like Strong, it's different every time. Because you then associate it. Something that I've realized in the last 10 years is that I kind of started associating my songs to different phases of my life.
Right, yeah.
So I have a song called Embarrassment that I recently spoke about. And I love that track just because you can literally use that track in any form or any way, when Spotify dropped it, there was a glitch, and the glitch was because of my distributor account जहाँ से मैं अपना music upload करती हूँ. उस पे थोड़ा सा glitch आ गया था जहाँ गाने का नाम पे मेरा नाम था. So it was Maria Unera by Maria Unera. And I was panicking. I was like, oh my God, what the heck do I do? Like, what do I do? What do I do? This is just absurd. Like, you know, like it's one of my best songs and I've worked so hard and how could Spotify do this? So I'm emailing them and like my management, they're like, listen, we don't know what to do here. We can help you write the email. And I'm like full on having a panic attack. And eventually I'm like, you know what? Let me just make fun of it. So I made a meme.
Right.
And that really helped with the emotion. So songs like Embarrassment, songs like Fall, songs like, you know, Strong. Every time I perform my music, especially the ones that are very, very dear and close to my heart, I resonated differently every single time. Because I don't know, maybe past me thought about this subconsciously, but सारे गाने इस तरह के लिखे हैं जहाँ मतलब like जो भी आपकी ज़िंदगी में उस वक्त चल रहा होगा ना, आप kind of resonate कर सकते हो. For me personally as well. And I think that's the beauty of songwriting, especially when it's relatable. And
Makes
if you
sense.
can, if you as the artist can relate to it multiple times, that's like a plus point, you know.
Understandable. If someone goes onto your, you know, Spotify and goes onto your discography, so most of it, as you said, growing up, it was like Western classical
Yeah.
music, you know. So that essence kind of shows in your discography as well. But we can see that, you know, you're transforming and, you know, fiddling and manifesting Urdu as well.
Yeah.
So like songs like Meri Duniya Jeena Nahi, they're really nice songs, and
Yeah.
I've heard them all as well before, you know, coming here. Like, okay, let me at least
Homework.
listen to all her songs, how great they are. So in that sense, do you think that there was a push for you to do Urdu music, or did that come naturally to you owing to your roots yourself?
I want to say that it came naturally, but to be very honest with you, so my first Urdu song that I wrote was with a friend in Islamabad. Bless him. I hope he's doing good. I have not spoken to him in a long time, but I hope he's doing well. Basically, मैं तंग आ गई थी. ठीक है, like मैं तंग आ गई थी कि यार क्या मसला है. Every single person was constantly saying कि यार अगर आप पाकिस्तान में रहना है, पाकिस्तान में काम करना है, तो आपको उर्दू म्यूजिक करना पड़ेगा. And I'm like, यार ठीक है, सही है, लेकिन मैं नहीं रहना. मैं ग्लोबल आर्टिस्ट बनना है.
Understandable.
ठीक है, लाइक विजन देखो. इतनी छोटी विजन ना रखें कि
आपका
बस
vision है.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like
yeah.
थोड़ा सा like manifest करो यार. खैर लोगों ने नहीं सुना, बहुत you know it was clashing and whatnot, but eventually फिर मैंने ये किया कि sat down with my friend in a recording studio once and I was like, मैंने गाना लिखना है और मैंने उर्दू में लिखना है और मैंने मतलब I want to write a song about me being ziddi. ठीक है. And that was my first song. And it was called Kyun Na Hoon.
Yeah.
And it's about me. And that was the first push where I sang it, recorded it, released it. People loved it. And I was like, okay, I think...
This is working. Yeah.
think, and honestly, kabhi kabar na aapko wohi confidence chahiye
Makes
hota hai.
sense.
Just to like, you gotta take that leap of faith.
Yep.
You have to rip that band-aid off. So ye scene tha. And then eventually it came naturally. I still wouldn't say I can't write in Urdu. I can't read in Urdu. I can't write in Urdu. Something that I absolutely wish I mean, I know I still can. But I wish I took Urdu in school and not just believed that I was going to leave Pakistan.
Makes sense.
लेकिन हाँ मतलब उस ज़माने में था मुश्किल, but now I think like if you were to ask me like, hey, can you cover this Pakistani song, I would be glad. Like मतलब वो confidence बदल गया, you know.
Oh, that's very nice.
So now it comes naturally. Initially it wasn't. And I want to be, I think as an artist, I'm at that point where I want to be able to, I want to sing a song in Pashto. Why not? You know,
That'd
I
be
want to
really
learn
cool.
Punjabi.
That'd be really cool.
Like aise, because I just think you should be able to, language shouldn't be a barrier.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So, like, walk us through how you write music in itself as well, because every artist has their own way of, you know, making music. Some come with the melody first, or the tone first, or the lyrics first.
Yeah.
And comparing that to the collaborations that you've been doing, like Fawad Khan and Talha, like very big. The Tare and the Diamonds exquisite. It was so good.
Yeah, that was also
my
really
jaw was
random.
on the floor.
Really?
But when it comes to collaborating as well, how does that comparison shapes up as opposed to you writing your own self and some, heavy hitting artist sitting next to you on the table?
So I'm really blessed to have friends who are really famous. So the song with Tala that I did was actually pretty random. We share the same management, and we are friends also. It was pretty random, yeah. The thing with all of my collaborations, they've all been very random. I don't think, except for maybe No Roses, which was a very planned collab. We had multiple meetings because I was working with producers from Canada. So none of the artists on that particular song were Pakistani, except myself, of course. With Tala, it was very different. I think me and my manager, we were driving somewhere. We were going for coffee, for a meeting. And he was like, listen, Anjum is calling you to the studio. And I was like, okay. And normally, like, when Anjum is calling you to the studio, it's kind of like to hang out. It's like, see what's up, catch up. But this was like, he was like, no, it's work. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, chalo, dekhte hain, this and that. So I walk in and there's Omer and Joke and, no, not Joke, sorry, JJ and Tala Anjum. And I'm like, what's up? And they're like, oh, बैठो. हमने ये line लिखी है तुम्हारे लिए. And I'm expecting it to be obviously in Urdu.
Yeah.
So he's like, मैंने तुम्हारे लिए एक line लिखी. मैं कहा, fit है, कहते गा के सुनाओ. So मैंने गाया. And literally that was it. Like, उन 2 घंटों के अंदर he just wrote, because the hook is Urdu. And he's like, you just got to sing the hook. I was like, okay. And then we just sat. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Like, there wasn't any... Even with Jeena Nahi actually took the longest. Just because Bilal is as much as an artist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he really takes his time and, like, he sits on it, sleeps on it. And then he'll forget about it and then come back. Like, we forgot about Jeena Nahi twice in the span of 1 year. We wrote his part, and then we recorded my vocals, and then we wrote my part, and all in, like, after every, like, 2-3 months. So, aise hota hai. I think collaborations take the most time. The most quickest was the one with Tala, because those guys work, like, rapidly. It's insane.
It's like second nature to them.
Yeah. Their work ethic is incredible. They will not sleep. They will choose not to sleep, and they will choose to work. And I think that's something I have not been able to achieve in 15 years of doing this, because for me, sleep is, like, really important. But when I sit on my own, it really depends. It depends on what mood I'm in. So sometimes I could literally be grocery shopping and a random melody will come to my head. I'll take out my phone. I'll quickly just record it so that I don't forget. Or I could be, it is the digital age now, so I could be, like, on my laptop, on some software, arcade, just listening to beats, listening to different samples, and then just come up with a melody. So it really varies. It's very different. Or it could be a gloomy day where I'm not feeling like my 100% and I'm on the guitar, and then I just start
Makes sense.
fiddling. So it's always different. I don't think that there's one set sort of structure.
As a woman, especially in the Pakistani society, and a half Pakistani at that, do you think there's, like, a backlash from the society itself, the management, how the industry works? And obviously when you actually blew up, was there, like, kind of a change in how the industry perceived you in a way?
Yeah, definitely.
How did that go about?
I mean... being a woman in this country is tough to begin with. Being a woman, I feel like in any country is tough to begin with. And so as a female artist, it was, like I said, it was never taken seriously. Like, I think the first time my dad was like, okay, aap actually ye karti ho. Nice, was not too long ago. The first time where he was like, good luck for your show, beta, was not too long ago. And उसी से आपको थोड़ा सा अंदाज़ा हो सकता है कि how, I don't want to say looked down upon, but the guys get more credit, man.
Understandable, yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna, put the dart in there and say that it's tough. We already don't have that many female
That is
artists. And so with the little ones that we do have, yeah, I think that there are some female artists who are incredible. They are killing it. And I love the representation. Maybe now it's a lot more better than it was back when I was starting out. Back when I was starting out, I remember I used to do open mic nights and sare boys hote the. I think I would be the only girl. And because I was the only girl, maybe they would be a little intimidated. So they would kind of like be like, हाँ इससे पहले करा लो. Like, you know, ऐसे कर लो ताकि बस हो जाए. You know? और ये बहुत common था back in my day.
Yeah.
Like, and I keep saying back in my day because I'm also like, I've been doing this for 15 years and I have seen the music industry shift.
Right.
आजकल के जो music हम सुन रहे हैं, the pop and the hip hop,
Very fast paced and everything.
it's fast paced, but like if I had done hip hop or pop, or if any of the artists from 2010 were to do hip hop and pop back then, I think the only person who was doing it was probably Bohemia and Faris.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's poppin' now, but
It
back
is.
then it was not really, because hum bahut zyada 90s ke andar phas gaye the.
That's true.
कि हमें 90s rock चाहिए, 90s pop चाहिए, हमें classical चाहिए या फिर हमें 90s pop चाहिए. हम इससे आगे बढ़ेंगे ही नहीं.
Society
we're
में
not.
पे रह गई थी.
Yeah, and that was something that I, as an artist, struggled for the last maybe 10 years. It was only up until post-COVID when artists like Hassan Rahim started coming out. Young Stunners was already around, but they really popped up post-COVID. And so, yeah, I feel like it's a lot more welcoming. It's a lot more comfortable. But there are still biasness
True.
in these little nitty-gritty thingies. I think in any male-dominant industry, वही common चीजें होती हैं
Makes sense.
with you know, women.
Makes sense.
तो yeah, I guess अब बहुत बेहतर है. Back in the day, काफी मुश्किल था. A lot of the times I would be doing concerts and I would probably either be the only female singer, or they would also just drop me like from performing, but like during the locking process, because they'd be like, yeah, it's all boys, let's just keep it all boys, you know.
Yeah.
And ironically, I saw something online recently about a woman festival, like a all women concert, and I got extremely excited. But then I saw it and I saw that there are male performers as well, and no disrespect to male performers, I think वो सारे boys fit करते हैं music, like मैं कहती हूँ आला काम, ठीक है? लेकिन if you're gonna throw an all-female concert, सारे performers भी all-female होने चाहिए, you know?
Yeah, understandable.
तो ये ऐसे छोटे मोटी चीजें होती हैं online that you see and then you're like, ये क्या? Okay, you know. But it's not as bad. I did face a lot of challenges on my own, but I think I dodged them very, very strategically as well, just because I didn't want to fall into it. I didn't want to get into that trap, you know. I think when you kind of surface towards what the audience or the awam is trying to like bombard you with, that is when you kind of really know your strength. Okay, how much can I face this, or how much can I dodge it?
Makes sense.
So I was a stubborn girl, man. I was like, nah, I'm not. I'm here.
As you should be. I have like a random burst fire questions for you. All right. So let's go about it.
Okay.
Dream collaboration, dead or alive?
Billie Eilish.
Understandable. As you should.
Or Hayley Williams.
Oh, that'd be
Either
cool.
or.
Yeah.
Either or.
One song you wish you had written.
Wildflower by Billie Eilish. Actually, that entire album. Can I be
Hit me
real?
hard.
Yeah.
Snubbed from Grammys. So bad.
I know.
So
I
bad.
know. I know.
All right. Best concert you've ever attended?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, sure.
I've never attended an international concert. That's kind of sad.
Very sad.
I tried for Billie Eilish last year for my 30th, but the American people don't want to give me their visa. So Hanya, my best friend, she had to go without me, and it was the most saddest thing in the world. My husband went for Coldplay.
Oh my God. that'd be
I
cool.
couldn't
That'd be
even
so
go because
cool.
I was playing my own shows here.
Oh, makes sense.
So I guess if we're talking about Pakistani concerts, probably Young Stunners and Kashmir, the band. I love their shows.
Understandable.
Yeah, their shows are a lot of fun.
That'd be that's really nice. I was in the UK this summer and I wanted to go to the Billy show, but
Yeah.
like उसके लिए आपको 6-7 महीने मेरे ख्याल से
Yeah.
पहले करनी पड़ती है, and it's such a
Yeah,
hassle.
yeah.
उसके like I wasn't
Yeah,
able
imagine we bought tickets like maybe 6-7 months prior,
Exactly.
and then I couldn't go.
to get the.
So sad.
All right, one instrument you wish you could play but you can't.
But I can't.
Yeah.
I believe I can learn still. Probably the drums.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be
Like
cool.
I just can't multi.
Understandable.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's-
understandable. If you could listen to only one album, what album would it be?
On repeat.
Yeah.
The Beatles, Get Back.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Studio recording, live performing.
Both. But live performing, obviously.
Vibe to hai.
Yeah,
Vibe
yeah.
to hai. All right. The most underrated artist in Pakistan right now.
The most underrated
Yeah.
artist. Oh my gosh, hold on. Oh, I have to think about this. The most underrated artist in Pakistan right now. I don't know. Can I say musician?
Yeah, yeah.
Ves Khan.
Ah.
He is the lead guitarist for Kashmir. And I think that man is a really underrated guitarist in Pakistan. Like, लोगों को नहीं पता कि वो कितना crazy इंसान है. Like,
Makes sense.
नहीं पता. Like, what we see on stage, yes, epic, amazing, beautiful performer. But when you sit with that man and you just hear him play at a random rehearsal, crazy.
Crazy indeed.
He must be protected.
Biryani with aloo or without?
With aloo.
With aloo.
With aloo.
As a Lahori, I can't.
As somebody who lived in Karachi for 7 years, we have better biryani than you guys.
Understandable.
So,
Understandable. Your favorite Urdu word?
My favorite Urdu word, ittafaq.
Ah, it's
Random. It's the
Interesting.
first word that came to my mind. It's
Interesting.
not really my favorite, but it's an interesting word.
All right. Last show you binge watched?
Last show I binged watched. Well, we just finished Delhi Crime season 3, so that was literally 2 weeks ago.
That's really cool.
But currently, we're trying to binge. I'm showing my husband Stranger Things from the
As
very
you should,
beginning.
because season 5 just
Yeah.
dropped. Yeah, perfect. Last question. One thing you're irrationally afraid of?
It could be anything.
Yeah.
Instagram maybe shutting down, because that is literally how I pay my bills. Yeah.
Understandable.
Or Spotify, yeah.
Understandable. All right. So you posted, how 2024 was your year of healing and 25 being, new beginnings. So what have you been up to as like a good farewell for us? Do we have something in the pipeline?
Yeah, there are music. There are a bunch of songs. So 2024 was a very tough year for me because I was in the transition of just learning and unlearning and getting rid of old habits and trying to make new. And so wo sara journey chal raha tha. And then of course I got married in 2025 in April.
Oh, that's very
So
nice.
that was something to look forward to in the beginning of the year. And then after that, I kind of just enjoyed being married. It's been 9 months now, I think, 9-10 months. And so we've just been basking in that and enjoying that. However, there is music. There are a few songs that I've been working on. It's just that I procrastinate a lot. And also responsibilities are just... I'm learning still.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
learning how to adjust everything. There are songs that are pretty much semi-ready and I need to just...
Get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
maybe in 2026.
Yeah, hopefully, inshallah. All right, with that, thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you so
it was
much for
so
having
lovely
me.
to talk to you.
Lovely.
For everyone who's watching, you can catch her on Instagram, especially on Instagram and Spotify. And baat to is tarah khatam hui, magar kahani beshak jari hai. This was Raja Faris from Radio Lums, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much.